Hello everyone, my name is Delaney and today I'm going to be sharing with you my results from the simulation. The role I played in the simulation was as the retailer, and I was responsible for receiving the product from the wholesaler and shipping the product out to the customers. As everyone knows, the simulation began in week 3, where I was receiving 50,000 cases from the wholesaler and shipping 50,000 cases out to the customers. And in week 4, things changed just the slightest bit, where I was still receiving 50,000 cases from the wholesaler, but 100,000 were being requested to get shipped out to the customers. And I only had 100,000 cases of inventory at that moment. In week 5, the same amount was shipped and received, leaving my inventory at 50,000 cases. At this point, I realized I should have been placing much bigger orders sooner, which I learned in week 6 when the same amount was requested, but my inventory was at 0. In weeks 8 to 14 were spent attempting to decrease my backlog by increasing the amount of cases I was receiving from the wholesaler. And weeks 7 through 11, my weekly cost continued to gradually increase. And then weeks 8 through 11, my backlog peaked at 250,000 cases. Weeks 15, I had my backlog down to $0 or zero back again, but I began creating a new problem for myself where I had too much inventory on hand. Week 16, I received my largest order, which was 350,000 cases, which was way more than I ever needed. And the next few weeks, I worked really hard to bring down the amount received in order to decrease that overall inventory. And then in week 16, my weekly cost skyrocketed to 200,000 and increased by 100,000 every single week until week 18. In week 19, my inventory reached its highest amount of 850,000 cases. Weeks 19 to 24, weekly costs remained the same at 425,000. In week 20, I finally only received 100,000 cases from the wholesaler, and looking back on this now, I know I should have been placing much smaller orders sooner to get rid of this inventory. In week 25, I switched to only requesting 50,000 cases, which started to bring down my inventory a lot. And week 34, I only received 25,000 cases from the wholesaler, which I should have been doing much sooner, because by the end, in week 35, my inventory was down to 250,000, which I was pleased with considering how hard I worked to get those numbers down. And the weekly costs for week 34 and week 35 were down another $150,000, leaving my ending weekly cost at $125,000. So to conclude, there were many things I would have done differently in this simulation if I were to redo it, but I enjoyed completing it because it taught me the importance of keeping inventory low while avoiding backlog issues. Thank you.